How's it going, everybody? Today we got red flags. Now I'm in my new space. This is gonna be a little chopped because I gotta kind of make this really fast because I don't have a lot of time. But without any further ado, we're gonna get straight into it. Like and subscribe, and let's begin.
Red flags. It seems like nowadays a lot of things are classified as a red flag, even though sometimes that might not be the case. At this point, it seems like to me,
To be fair, I don't think I have like a lot of red flags. I think there's some things that to me, like, I don't think is going to be a good sign to other people. I'm pretty kind, I listen pretty well. So, I mean, I think the only red flag that I think that is a very large standout is I might not take into account how important something could be to a person, but the thing that makes that red flag not as a deal breaker is I can easily fix that after understanding how important that is to really understand, what's going on. So I think that's the biggest thing.
that red flag just became a buzzword. Everyone's throwing it around. Everybody's calling this a red flag and that a red flag. But a red flag
People say like red flag like being under 6 foot. That's a lot to ask, to be honest. That's a lot to ask.
just anything that may cause potential problems in a relationship, or it will just be an unhealthy relationship dynamic with that particular person. So I guess everybody's red flags are different, but at the same time though, you cannot say him eating a sandwich on a Tuesday is an ick. Like, damn, can I not eat a sandwich in peace? All right, nobody said that shit. I'm just making up a dumb example. But yeah, these are things I would personally consider a red flag. So yeah, let's just start with the first one. People that are super controlling. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the most important ones.
I'm going to say, each of these things, I'm going to be very quick about it because, like I said, this video is going to be kind of quick. I feel like people that are controlling, it's a little frustrating because, like, dude, I understand you love them so much, but let them be their own person. A lot of times in relationships, people are like, they control it to be just in their life. Your addition to your life, your better half, your, significant other, they have their own life. They have their own goals. They have their own job. They have their own friends. You are not their entire life. You are a big part of it if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, but you're not their whole life. They have family, friends, job, like I said, career. You have to let them explore who they want to be, especially when you're a little bit younger. That's the biggest thing I think you need to take away from that kind of thing.
Like, I feel like it could definitely go both ways. Sometimes people dead ass will say like, oh, I don't want to see you hanging out with this person, even though they did nothing to wrong you at all. And they're basically just saying that so you're only hanging out with them and you're not hanging out with your friends at all. Like, that's just lame, bro. But it's different, obviously, if somebody's like actually being a dickhead to you and they're just not a good person and you're advising them to stay away from that person. But there will dead ass be people trying to control their partner's entire life like they're a Sims character. So of course, this can lead to a very toxic environment for the relationship, and sometimes it will even go down to the most minuscule details, like what they're gonna eat for lunch today. Like, all right, bro.
Whenever someone's like, what do you think of this person, or what do you think they should,
This is a huge red flag. Everybody hates a spoiled ass brat to begin with. Like, these are the type of people that expect like a $10,000 handbag and a $1,000 dinner on the very first date. And then otherwise they'll just say that they're not worth their time. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and drop a band on the first date. And they will definitely be the type of person
I'm not dropping more than $100.
to dip on you like the moment you stop getting bread or something. Like, if you lose your job, God forbid some terrible shit happens, they're out, bro. They're dipping. You're not able to give them a $10,000 handbag for Christmas. Good riddance. Or I don't know, even dudes, like, it could go both ways. Like, they'll get mad at their girlfriend, like, you didn't get me this $5,000 piece.
Do you expect someone to get you something that's worth more than $1,000? That's fucking crazy.
See with these insane ass specs. Like, all right, bro. Now we got the gender wars people. Of course, this had to be on here because as
two genders. I respect everything else, but two genders.
especially in the big 25, I've been seeing a lot of this shit go down, well, mainly on the internet. It's probably not gonna leave the internet, or maybe it will on some.
I don't understand why people even say that. Just like, why do we have to hate so much about that shit? That makes no sense.
Slight off chance. Now, a lot of you are probably like, what is gender wars? What it is pretty much, it's a group of people from each gender that hate the opposite gender because they had a lot of bad experiences, like in relationships. But your bad experiences should not dictate an entire gender of people. Like, that's just a crazy way of thinking. Then some people, it gets so bad that like there will be like, oh, women are the root of all evil and they cause all our problems. And then there's some girls out there that are like, oh my God, men suck, men shouldn't exist. So yeah, they will create these videos that sometimes go viral. Like sometimes this shit is dead ass a viral opinion. How? People are just stuck in the echo chamber and they just hear what they want to hear. And that's it. They never
I don't think you should let a bad experience dictate, like he said, dictate an entire opinion about an entire group of people, because like you could find better experiences and better relationships in the future with other people in that same group.
change their perspective on anything. And also, imagine showing up to a date and this girl's talking about how men suck. Like, yeah, bro, I'm going home and I'm never talking to her again. And just dealing with them ranting to you about the opposite gender. Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare to me. I would not want to deal with that shit. Next, we got them having a link in their bio that leads to, yeah, I don't even think I have to sit here and explain this. I don't have to sit here and explain why I would never date Bonnie Blue a day in my life. Like, you are
Never did. I'm gonna never do that. Never once in my life.
selling your soul to gooner culture. And right now it seems like it's at its peak. So a lot of people are going to be purchasing that content. And
Most gooner ass bed I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think we put enough blame on the people buying that shit. Like, bro, really? And also, there's some people that literally just do OF for the love of the game. Like, they're not even getting paid to do it. They just fucking do it. Like, that is nuts. Like, you pretty much ruined your chance of ever having a job again just to make like $2 off of like one donation. That is just insane. They didn't even try finding their true passion or anything like that. Nope, they just started an OnlyFans. But some people really are getting a bag off these dudes, which is crazy. Like, I don't know how the fuck that
I've seen someone make like 4 million in 1 year, which is absolutely fucking crazy.
that's even happening. But still, selling your soul to gooner culture is wild, and I'm not dating anybody like that, me personally. Now we got looking for a huge income. Now I understand that people
I don't understand this at all. Like, maybe for your lifestyle, like if that's what you want to do, then good luck finding someone that's going to be, you know, loyal.
want somebody that's able to provide for them. That totally makes sense. It's those type of people that are like, oh, if you don't make $1 million a year, have a supercar, and have a mansion, you're getting blocked. Like, I get everybody's got a preference, but bro, nobody should be getting curved for that reason. Like, it should just be based on if they genuinely like the person. Like, that has nothing to do with who they are as a person, whether or not they have a supercar. Like, and if their partner's in a tough situation, like they lost their source of income, they're just gonna dip. Like, that's just lame, bro. Like, what? You just didn't even like them at all. Like, the only reason you stuck around was for all the luxuries they had. Now, this type of person has been around for years, of course, but currently today, you'll see TikToks talking about, oh, my boyfriend has to make $1 million a year to support my lifestyle. I don't know. I'm just...
It's more than 6 figures. I think someone, you know, as long as they're able to provide for you, it doesn't have to be, you know, 6 figures, 5 figures, but just as long as they're able to provide for you, I think that's like the biggest thing.
Making up an example. It will say something along those lines. Now we got gaslighting. Now, gaslighting, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's pretty much the idea
It's kind of like rage baiting in a way. It's kind of funny.
of convincing somebody that, oh, they're crazy and this never happened, even though they're lying straight through their teeth and they know for a fact that that shit
If you do that to your friends, it's not the big of a deal, but if you do it to a significant other, that's kind of where it gets a bit of a problem.
it happened. There was some stupid acronym going around. It was the 3 Gs: gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
I hate gatekeep. Hate it.
I don't know if it was meant to be ironic or not. I mean, it probably was, to be honest with you. But people genuinely took that shit and really lived by it. They were gonna start gatekeeping their playlists, start gaslighting people to avoid taking responsibility for their own actions, and therefore that would make them a quote-unquote girl boss. It could be something small too, like this dude plate cleaned the entire cookie jar, and he was trying to convince his girlfriend that he didn't do it, and he didn't eat all the cookies, even though he knows for a fact that he did it. But the fact that he has to go to that level just to convince you, like, you're better off just confessing. Like, why go through all these extra hoops just to not take the blame? But yeah, this one kind of ties in with blame shifting as well. They will literally do anything to have zero blame and just be the perfect person in a situation. Oh, they did nothing wrong. It was all your fault. You. Like, at this point, you're better off just taking accountability and just moving forward. Like, there's no
I
point.
think accountability is also one of the pretty big red flag. Like, take accountability for your actions that you did. If you blame someone else for it, that's just not a good sign.
Of trying to blame shift, and you're just better off settling it like adults and taking responsibility for where you went wrong. But now we got yapping about their ex. Like, if you're on,
I mean, I think in a way it's good, you know, because then they're like, I'm so glad that you're not like that. I don't think yapping about it definitely it is definitely a bad thing, but like in a way it's good, you know, to show the other person that they matter more.
On a date and they're just yimming on about their ex, like, all right, bro.
If they like, yeah, but they miss them, that's pretty bad.
It's time to pack it up, bro. Pack your shit and go. And it just shows that they're not really over the person yet if they're constantly talking about it. Like, if you're with this girl, you should not be yapping to her about your ex-girlfriend. I don't know. That's just only gonna push her away. And it's like this girl that you're with is becoming your new personal therapist or some shit. They want to learn about you, get to know you, not your ex-girlfriend. Like, I understand breakups are very difficult, but there's no point of talking about it with somebody just constantly all the time that you're trying to pursue. Yeah, bro, it's just not the move. Being rude to workers. Yeah, bro. This
I literally work in like customer service, and I go with my mom to a store, and she's like rude to them because she didn't get a discount. I'm like, bruh, literally come across that every single day. I do not want to see my mom do the same shit. That pisses me off.
This one, instant red flag. Like, if you were raised with any form of respect, you
You
understand.
have to be insanely respectful to a lot of workers. Now, if they're being disrespectful, do what you want, but don't just be, you know, an asshole because they didn't give you an extra nugget with your chicken tenders, bro.
And how important this is. This is a pretty big reflection of the person's character, or honestly, just how they treat people in general is. Like, if they're just being a dickhead for no reason, like, that's just crazy. And especially nowadays, I don't know what it is, but disrespecting customer service workers, it's like a trend on TikTok. I just don't understand it. And it's written off as like a prank. Pranks are supposed to be funny, bro. Like, that is the most unfunny shit.
I remember I actually went into a Target once with my friends. We grabbed one of those like really big carts that have like the seats, and we drove around, not like breaking anything, not like being loud, and we literally drove it around, and someone kicked us out. I was like, we're not really being disrespectful, we're just using it. But the guy thought we were, so I bought my Switch there, so
Shit ever. Like, imagine going into a McDonald's and fucking up this person's job because you gotta film a video. Like, really? They're already dealing with enough Karens and people like that throughout the day. They gotta deal with some lame ass dude trying to troll them for a TikTok video. Like, that's crazy. Now we got no ambition. Now, I think
I think no ambition to do anything, like, that's bad in itself, and it's such a bad thing to see. But like, if it's something that they, you know, develop over time, that's really hard to see, first of all, but also really hard to stay. But if it's something that you see when you first meet them, that's your fault for not seeing it, I guess.
Speaking about this earlier when I brought up the whole money thing, some people deadass have no ambition. Like, it's okay to not have everything figured out right now, but at least you're trying to figure it out. Not wanting to fulfill a purpose or anything at all is just insane. That is just a major red flag to me. Because, bro, what the hell would you be doing all day? Like, they got no job. They're not looking for a job. They're not in college. They're not trying to build a business. Like, am I missing something? I
Picture's so cursed.
don't know what else they could possibly be doing. People will deadass say, yeah, you know, I'm a 40-year-old kid, risk taker, you know me. Like, what the hell do you mean risk taker? That just seems like an excuse
Risk taker at 41? You should not be taking risks.
to do a whole lot of nothing to me, bro. I don't know. Anyways, next we got doesn't respect your boundaries. Now, this is one of
No, that's a bad one. That could be really, really bad. But if you don't see it when you first start, you know, hanging out with them, that's kind of your fault. Like, if you don't notice that and you don't take action and then you just let it happen and then you get angry over time, if you let them know ahead of time, then they'll be like, oh, you know, sorry, you know, because then they wouldn't have to go through with any of that. But I think if you don't see anything, it's kind of a little bit your fault. Let them know so that you can make boundaries.
the things that you absolutely have to do in a relationship. Like, you gotta make sure that everybody's on the same page. No lines are crossed that shouldn't be crossed. Everybody should be clear on things that make somebody unhappy, uncomfortable, annoyed, whatever. And they don't respect what you said at all. They just keep doing whatever it is they're doing. Then, to be honest with you, they probably don't even really respect you. They just look at it like, oh, he's not gonna do anything. Or they'll just walk all over you. And that is definitely one of the main things you gotta avoid in a a relationship at all costs. And if something bothers you, you just approach it in a mature way. No beef, no drama, just settle it like adults. There's no need to yell at each other or scream at each other. It will just go way better if it's a civil conversation. And lastly, we got obsessed with astrology. Not just like, oh, I like astrology. Like, that's fine. But being so obsessed with it to the point where
everyone just makes their own personalities that entire thing. I think that's the biggest thing about that is like, don't make it your whole personality. Don't make it that the first question you ask when you meet someone. But I think I'm going to end it off there. If you guys did enjoy, like and subscribe.